Today we are going to learn about 51 most common phrases which are spoken by people who speak English. And as always, I have a homework for you towards the end of the video. So first watch my video because I've done really hard work to compile these for you. And towards the end, you find your homework, you submit your homework to me. I know you love your homework, so do it properly, okay? Let's start with the list. Long time no see. This is something you say to a friend, relative, family member, colleague, if you're meeting them after a very long time. Hey John, long time no see. How have you been? Don't take it to heart. It means when you say something unpleasant to the other person, you're sure that the other person is not going to like it. That is when you say, don't take it to heart. Monica, you're my friend, but I hate those cookies. Don't take it to heart. Did I get you right? When do you say this? You say this to somebody when they are trying to explain you something and you tell them what you've understood from that, and then you say, did I get you right? I have to submit these files to income tax office. Did I get you right? It serves you right. What does this mean? It means when there is a certain fault of your own and something has happened as a consequence of that fault, then you say it serves you right. The punishment of firing her from the job served her right. What have you been up to? You ask this question to someone when you meet them after a period of time. So when you want to know what they were doing during that gap, that is when you ask them, what have you been up to? Hey Raj, we're meeting after 3 months. What have you been up to? You rock. You say this to somebody when you want to praise them. Sanya, you rock in that red dress, girl. It's not worth it. You say this to someone when you're trying to explain that the prize that they are going to receive for their effort is not worthy enough. So their efforts are kind of a waste. Forget him. He's not worth it. Text me. I'll text you. Simply means that I'm going to send you an SMS or I'm going to send you a written message. Text me once your performance is over in the evening, okay? There is no room for doubt. It means that you're absolutely sure about that thing. They're completely made for each other. There's no room for doubt. How are you holding up? This question is asked when the person who's asking the question already knows about the past events of the person to whom the question is being asked. Okay? So if I'm asking you, how are you holding up? All I want to ask you is, how are you doing? Despite the sad situation that has happened in your life. Break a leg. Now this one does not actually mean that you have to break somebody's legs. No, it simply means that you're wishing good luck to somebody. Okay, so if my friend is going to take an exam, going to write an exam, I can say, break a leg, you're going to do well. Beat the dead horse. It means that you are wasting energy on a lost cause. Okay, something that will not change. You're wasting your energy on that. Another way of saying it is flog the dead horse. Stop beating the dead horse. She's not going to listen to you. Eat like a horse. That means you eat a lot. If she's coming to the party, I'm going to order extra food. She eats like a horse. Hold your horses. That means you're asking the other person to wait a moment. Hold on. Stop. Don't rush. Hold your horses. Don't rush. Explain that to me again. From time to time. That means sometimes, not very often. Her daughters visit her from time to time. Piece of cake. I'm sure you must have heard of this one. Piece of cake is something that is very easy. Clearing that exam was a piece of cake for me. Takes two to tango. Tango is a dance which has to be done by two people together when they hold hands and they dance together. So takes two to tango means when more than one person is involved in a situation. So basically it is used in negative connotation. A particular situation is happening not just because of one person but also because of the other party. Divorce is rarely the fault of one person. It takes two to tango. Stabbed in the back. It means somebody has betrayed your trust. I am never going to trust her again. She stabbed me in the back. This is a no-brainer. That means something is so easy that you don't really need to think too much about it. This question is a no-brainer. I'll solve it in 2 minutes. I screwed up. That means it's my mistake. He offered me a coffee. I said no. I screwed up. Can you cover for me? It means you're asking the other person to cover the evidence, to hide the evidence against your wrongdoing. I told her the password and the information is out. Can you please cover for me? I'd better be going. That means you're expressing the need to depart. It's really late, she's waiting for me, I'd better be going. Come again, it means you're asking for a repetition of what the other person has just said. So you say, come again. That means Repeat that again, please. Never mind. Never mind is a polite version of saying, don't worry, I'll take care of it myself. Like your friend asks you for a help with the homework and you could not because you're busy. So they say, never mind, I'll ask somebody else. How does that sound? This is a way of asking about the idea, if you like the idea or not. I'm planning a vacation to Spain. How does that sound? And in return, you can say, that sounds great, which means you're appreciating the idea. What do you think? This is a way of asking for the opinion of the other person. What do you think? Should I hire him or her for this post? I'll be with you in a moment, or I'll be with you in a minute, or give me a minute. These are ways of borrowing some time. Let's say you go to the bank and the bank teller is busy with the other person, and meanwhile you start to talk. The teller is going to say to you, give me a moment, or I'll be with you in a moment. And then they finish the task that they were doing and then they get back to you for your job, for whatever you want them to do. Like you call up the customer care and you tell them your problem, and then they say in return to you, sir, give me a moment, let me check. Could you repeat that, please? You say this when you haven't heard what the other person is saying in the first go. Like your friend calls you up and he or she says something to you and you're unable to hear them in the first go. Then you're going to say this to them. Could you repeat that, please? And then they will repeat that for you and you're good to go. Couldn't care less. It means that you don't care at all. Whatever that teacher says about me to my parents, I couldn't care less. You sold me. What does that mean? You sold me means that you said the thing so nicely that I completely understand and I like your idea. Oh, with these amazing pictures, you've completely sold me the idea of spending the vacation in Kashmir. Step up your game. It means work harder. Girl, you need to step up your game. You can also use this sarcastically. You need to step up your game. Something like that. Pull yourself together. This means you're asking your friend or whoever to control their feelings. Let's say one of your friends is going through a breakup. So you say to them, pull yourself together, girl. It's time, you've got to move on. That's lit. That's another way of saying that something is amazing. That's lit is very common these days. You must have heard it somewhere. Oh, that A.R. Rahman concert, that was lit. Keep up the good work. That means you are appreciating the good work of the other person. You're asking them to keep doing the way they are doing. Keep up the good work, Neha. Management loves your ideas. Come on, you can do it. It means you are motivating somebody that they can do it. They've got it. You can start a YouTube channel. Come on, you can do it. You've got to be kidding me. It means that you don't believe that thing to be a truth. It is often expressed sarcastically. Let's say A says to B, with a score of 56 out of 100, she topped the class. B comes back saying, you've got to be kidding me. Lucky you. It means you're appreciating the other person for what they've got by appreciating their luck. Lucky you, girl, you married the hottest guy of the batch. Can't complain. It simply means that you are happy about how the things are going in your life, or just about something in particular. A says to B, how are things going with business? B replies, can't complain. That means the business is doing well. That's a good one. This is another way of appreciating somebody's idea or somebody's thought, anything. I look at a dress hanging in the showcase of a shop and I say, that's a good one. Freaked out. Someone freaks out when something suddenly angers them, upsets them, or confuses them. She freaked out when she saw him at the station. Cheer up. That is a sweet way of asking somebody to smile, to forget about the worries. Cheer up. 60% marks are not bad for this exam. Fingers crossed. So you generally say this with your fingers actually crossed. It means you're wishing for luck. I hope India wins the World Cup this time. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Didn't catch your name. That is one polite way of asking for somebody's name. So if you're having a conversation and you've forgotten to ask the name of the person, or if they told you the name and you've forgotten the name, then you can just simply say, sorry, I didn't catch your name. Can you please repeat that for me? Let's say somebody calls me up, I'm talking on the phone with that person, and suddenly I realize that I don't know his or her name. Thank you so much for calling me, but sorry, I didn't catch your name. Things happen. That is another way of saying to somebody that do not be very upset about a situation because things happen. Please don't be so upset about your breakup. things happen. Thank you anyway. So you ask somebody for help and they could not give you the help or could not really do what you asked them for, and that is when you say thank you anyway. That means it's okay, you could not do what I asked you for, but thank you anyway. Let's say I come to your place and I ask you for a cup of tea, but you do not have sugar at home. So you say sorry to me, and then I say thank you anyway. Thank you in advance. Now this is something that is often used on emails. When you ask somebody for some help and you say thank you in advance along with the help that you mentioned, that is another way of saying that I know you're going to do something for me, so I am thanking you in advance. Please keep this in the fridge once it cools down. Thank you in advance. Sorry to bother you. You say this when you are about to ask a favor or a help to somebody and you're disturbing them in what they are doing. So you say, sorry to bother you, could you please reconfirm my details that you just entered in the computer? Good for you. Now this is something that can be used in both negative and the positive way. Means something good has happened to you, or you are just being sarcastic, something like, good for you. You got the subjects of your choice. Good for you. You beat me in the competition. Good for you. No worries. That is another way of saying that's all right. Oh, you dropped the cookies. No worries. That explains it. Now this is used to express something that has happened now, which explains or gives a reason to something that has happened before. Oh, I just recently found out she got promoted to the managerial position. That explains her happiness throughout the day. Lastly, let's talk about your homework for today. What you're going to do today is that I've given you more than 50 phrases, 50 statements. Pick any 3 of them. Okay, construct a sentence of your own. So for each of these 3, you're going to construct 1 sentence each. That means you have to in total construct 3 sentences and post on the comments. I'm going to read those comments and I'll give you my remarks. Okay, so do your homework now. I really hope you liked today's video. I am sure you liked it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll come up with a video very soon again. Take care. Bye.